Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you are new here. I am Martina Lily and today I am going to give you guys my thoughts on the new Natasha Denona Hy-Glam Powder Foundation. I feel like it's everywhere at the moment. It seems to be getting a lot of hype, so I just want to give you my 2 little cents if you're interested. Hopefully that all sounds good to you guys. If it does, go ahead and do the YouTubey things like subscribe, hit that notification bell. Let's get into it. Alright friends, you are zoomed in nice and close, 4K, no filters, nothing like that, and also everything I use on my face today will be linked in the description box down below for you guys. They are affiliate links though, so if you shop through them, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. All right, let's get into this. Now, I know you've probably been seeing this powder foundation everywhere and have potentially already watched a lot of reviews, but I thought I would give you my 2 cents. Now, for context, the way that I'm coming at this review is I have combination skin. In the summertime where I live, it's very humid, and so my skin's really quite oily through the T-zone, and then in the winter time, as I'm getting older, it tends to get a little bit more like normal to almost dry in the winter now at the moment. But so as of right now though, it is still, it's not as oily as it would be in the middle of summer because I'm in Australia, so we're going into our winter, but it's definitely still a little bit oily through the T-zone. Now, I don't normally wear a powder foundation as a powder foundation. Fun fact, I actually used to, like that was all I would wear. Now I definitely do prefer a cream, and how I like to use my powder foundations is actually more of like sometimes a setting powder if I'm using a really light coverage foundation and I want a little bit more coverage on the face. I also like to use it as like a finishing kind of touch to certain parts of my face and my T-zone and stuff with every makeup look. And if you've been around my channel before, you know that my holy grail currently for that is the Makeup Forever HD powder. So this one right here, and I have 2 shades in it, 1N00 and 1N06. 1N06 is my fave, and as you can see, like I've hit pan and everything. I really like this. I also really like this powder for like spot concealing and stuff, more so than like spot concealing with a cream concealer. So that's how I like to use it, and when I purchased this one right here, I purchased it for that specific intent. But I will use this as a powder foundation today because I know that it is advertised as a powder foundation and you guys will want to see how this performs as a powder foundation, especially if you are someone that will wear it in that way. So this is the compact right here. It's very cute, very luxe feeling. You get your product on the inside here, a mirror, and then underneath you get your little sponge. So perfect for also like on the go. It does feel very luxe, but it's also not super hefty. So if you're going to throw it in your bag or whatever, it's not going to weigh it down too much. So details quickly, there will be timestamps in case you're only interested in certain parts. 55 USD. I picked mine up off of Beautylish because I don't think this is launching until June in Australia. So I got mine off Beautylish, but you can get it off Sephora, like US. You can get it off quite a few websites, so that'll all be linked down below for you guys. There's 36 shades in this one. It has a 24-month expiry, which is good, and it was made in Italy. Now, the quick kind of description of this: following the success of her viral Hy-Glam concealer, Natasha introduces her talc-free Hy-Glam powder foundation. This blurring flex tech hybrid powder delivers a poreless, oil-controlled, perfected second skin finish while caring for your skin. It's also a refillable pan, which is awesome. So if you use it up, you can just refill the pan. It says it's a matte finish, medium buildable coverage, protects skin against environmental stresses, supports skin's natural elasticity and hydration, anti-inflammatory. There you go, vegan, talc-free, cruelty-free, made in Italy, as I said. And when I looked at the ingredients, they were very me friendly. So I am sensitive to fragrance and coconut specifically more so, and there's neither of those from what I can see in the ingredients list ingredients that react with my skin, I should say. So I got the shade N1 right here because I, like I said, use this more so as like through the T-zone and stuff. So I did get a shade that is lighter than what I would get if I was going to use this as a powder foundation all over the face. So if I was going to use this as an actual powder foundation, I would actually shade up a shade. I would probably get N2. But this is the shade N1 if you are interested. So it's not a bad shade match, to be fair with you, and I will swatch the 1N06 and the 100 from Makeup Forever as well next to it, just so you have it for reference point. So here are the 3 swatches. So this one is 1N06 from Makeup Forever, N1 from Natasha, and 1N00 from Makeup Forever. Now normally I would even just mix 1N06 and 1N00 from the Makeup Forever powder together, sometimes depending on if I want brightening, that kind of a thing. We're going to get into the application of it now, and I'm also going to do a wear test. I have forgotten to say that, sorry. So what we'll do is we'll apply it all, I'll give you my initial thoughts, and then we'll come back and I'll do the wear test and everything, give you my final thoughts at the end. Let's all hope that I remember to do that, because I'm shocking at wear tests. Now with powder foundation, you kind of want to do all of your liquids first. So I still use a primer, put that on, that's going to go on first regardless, but I'll actually do my concealer first and set that lightly with my under eye powder before I put my powder foundation on. That's kind of how I like to work it, just because the cream's going to mix with the powder foundation a little bit. So I'm going to do a speed through of me applying those steps. Like I said, everything will be linked down below that I'm using. I am testing the new Refy concealer today though, so if the concealer itself looks terrible, it's from that, but it's a review on the powder foundation, not the concealer. All right, let's do the speed through. Okay, so concealer and everything is all on. I gotta say, first impressions of that Refy Eye Balm and concealer is, I am very impressed, but that's very, very initial, so we'll see. All right, let's go ahead and apply this. Now on one side, I will apply with the sponge that it comes with, which as you can see I've already tested. It's not a bad sponge. It's not my favorite, to be honest, but it's fine. And then on the other side, we'll try with a brush. So let's go ahead and just start. Now you do want to make sure that if you have applied like your skincare and your primer and all that kind of stuff, that you've given yourself a little bit of time for it to dry down enough. You don't want to be applying this on a wet like surface, because it will cling to the wet patches if you're not careful, so just keep that in mind. I forgot to say as well, I am putting this all in my face. It might look a touch too light, which is fine. We can fix it with bronzer, just because I did get that shade lighter than like what I would normally get. But you know, maybe I'm pale at the moment, so it might be fine. And it's very quick and easy to apply. Now I have worn this quite a few days as like setting powder, as my touch-up, how I would normally wear it. I've worn it with different foundations, different products, all that kind of stuff. So I know how I feel about the product in terms of how I would normally use it. And then today I'm just gonna see how it performs on its own. And because I know how it's gone over foundation and all that kind of stuff, I kind of already have my thoughts on it, and then I'm just gonna see how that translates to when it's being used on its own as a powder foundation, if that. Hopefully that might explain. Okay, so that's half my face done. It has clung to a little dry patch right here, but nothing too dramatic, to be honest with you. It's looking very smoothing so far. Doesn't look cakey or anything on this side. Slightly dry here on my forehead, but all in all not too bad. Definitely a medium coverage. You can still see, I don't know, I think it should pick up on camera. You can still see imperfections coming through here, and they don't seem to, doesn't seem to build up like the Makeup Forever one for reference is very full coverage, like full coverage. This one seems to be more of a medium, but so far not too bad. For the other side, I'm going to take the Radiance 21 brush, which is like a mineral buffer brush, and let's see how it goes. I don't normally like using a brush to apply a powder foundation, to be honest. Usually I do use the sponge that it comes with because it provides more coverage, but we'll see how we go. This used to be me every morning when I was like in my 20s or early 20s with my Bare Minerals powder foundation. I had the compact version. I had the little dense brush that they use for it, and I used to put it on every morning in the mirror, and off I went. Alright, so that's the side with the brush. Kind of looks the same. It was a bit quicker to apply with the brush, if you will, but looks really, truly the same. Medium coverage, a little bit clinging to some dry patches, but that's okay. I could have hydrated my skin more. It's also probably just like, you know, this one's just like a breakout that's like healing. That's really not its fault, you know. But yeah, so that is it applied. Nothing else on the face apart from concealer. It's not looking too bad in here. As you can see though, so this is my initial, like, this has been my problem with the powder on other days that I've used it. It goes on instantly and is quite smoothing. And then as my skin slightly warms up, always right here starts to get really quite textured and cakey looking from like the oils in my skin. So I'll be interested to see how it wears throughout the day with no other products underneath it. And the primer that I used was the Guerlain one, and I'm currently testing, but I've been testing and I really like it. It reminds me a little bit of like the Milk Hydro Grip, but not quite as tacky, but it does have a bit of tack to it. So the foundation, like, it had dried down, but the foundation is going to like, the powder foundation is going to like adhere to the skin really well. So what I'm going to do now is just the speed through of the rest of my makeup. I'm just going to do a pretty simple look today, and then we'll come back and see what it all looks like once all of the makeup's put on, and then I'll give you guys like the time update and everything, and we'll do like, you know, the deal, wear test, all that stuff. All right, let's do the speed through of the rest of the makeup. Alright my friends, so this is the finished look. Again, everything that I used on my face will be linked down below, so if you want to know like what lip liner and lipstick and stuff I used, it's all down there. I feel like it's actually come together quite nicely. I really do. Very quick and easy too, which I didn't mind at all. My initial thoughts just straight off the bat is it looks pretty decent. I'm not like completely blown away with it. I was pretty impressed with the Makeup Forever one when I wore it as a powder foundation. This one I'm like, it looks great, it looks lovely, but it's not blowing me away as a powder foundation initially, just because it is looking a little bit more textured through here for me, and I can already see some smile lines setting in, which doesn't happen with every product kind of thing. But I'm not going to write it off, it might wear really lovely, so we'll see how it goes. So it is currently 1019. I can't do this whole thing where you like see it, but 1019. So I will wear this for as long as possible, and we will come back and see how it goes. And I will also go outside and like take some photos in daylight and stuff so you can see it in daylight without the studio lighting and stuff. So yeah, all right, I will see you later. Bye. All right, my friends, it is now 6:06 on the rocket clock. Who remembers that show? And I've been wearing this for about 8 hours. I think when I finished my makeup it was like 10 something, but that was like when I finished the whole look. So yeah, I want to say I've been wearing this for 8 hours, and it has been a very long work day for me, I won't lie. I put my morning makeup on in my lunch break this morning, and I've had an over 8 hour work day. So I am ready to have a shower. My makeup wasn't on for longer than 8 hours, but I have been working for longer than 8 hours and I'm ready for a shower. Okay, so this is what we're looking like up close, no filters. So I don't know how it's gonna translate on camera. Usually the 4K picks up every minute detail to the point where it's actually quite uncomfortable for me to look back on. But it's all worn away where, you know, I was resting my hands on my face today. Like I said, it was a stressful well, I didn't say stressful, but it was a stressful day today. So I had been resting, like touching my face, which I wouldn't always, I try not to do, right? I do it at work though. So it has worn away in those places. I mean, fine, look, I shouldn't be touching my face, okay. But you can see like it's settled in this smile line right here, which doesn't really happen with my favorite products. I look really oily through here and here. Like I look oily. Again, I don't know how much that's going to come off on camera. It might look like a healthy glow, but in real life I can assure you it's not great. I definitely look textured, and I just overall look a bit haggard. My skin is looking a bit haggard. It has not held up well under scrutiny, in my personal opinion. So my overall thoughts for this one, and actually just taking a couple of steps back, I have used this for about a week, just under a week. How I would normally use it, like how I would normally use my Makeup Forever powder, if you're familiar with my channel, where I use it as like sometimes a setting powder, a powder to add a little bit of extra coverage here and there, and through my T-zone as like a finishing powder and stuff. And I wasn't impressed with the days that I've tried it so far. I really wasn't. It wore like this, I guess. It wore where my oils came through really quickly. It made my skin look textured really quickly. This smile line always appeared, which is always my sign for like when a complexion product doesn't work well for me. And it just wasn't long wearing. Like I know I've touched my face to fade it away, but on the other days I wasn't touching my face, especially like this part I don't ever really touch, and it's just not long wearing. There's no longevity, I personally find, to the product. So for me overall, if you vibe with my makeup style, if you have combination skin like me, if you have oily skin, I don't think this is the product. I really don't. Again, take it with a grain of salt, just my opinion, what do I know? But like, that's my 2 cents is, yeah, I don't think this is worth it. I think the Makeup Forever one is way better. I think if you have dry skin, you might actually quite like it, because you can see like how oily I've gotten. It's obviously quite a hydrating powder throughout the day. So I think if you do have dry skin, you might actually quite enjoy this. But I think if you are, yeah, I don't know. To be honest with you, I just think this one's an easy skip. I don't think it's the worst product I've ever tried in the world. Truly, I don't. I can see there's going to be people out there that really enjoy it. I can. But I just think this one's an easy skip. I think there might be better products out there. But again, my opinion, take it with a grain of salt. I'd be interested to hear your guys' thoughts though. Have you tried it yet? Are you thinking of trying it? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys. If you're watching till this point, you know you're an absolute legend. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate you. Extra special shout out to my Lily absolute legends. Thank you for supporting my channel, plus all my other members. I appreciate you, and I hope you have the most amazing day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next time. Bye.